Boom, there we go. Make sure we can see all right. It's a little dark. What's up, everybody? It's your man Small Guy Promotions coming to you live with Moe Williams, Coach Moe Athletics.
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
See if we can get this light situation figured out. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we're up here at Planet Sub on 90th and Center. You know, come and check out a little place. I wanted to bring somebody new. Check out Planet Sub. Joe and Dave, thank you guys for allowing us to stop out here. So Mo and I go back. It's been like almost 4 years maybe now since we met through Donna. You know? And once you hear this man talk, you'll understand that he's a coach. You can tell by his voice. I know I talked about that the first time we had the interview with him, with Donna. But go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about Coach Moe Athletics.
Awesome, man. Coach Mo, so I'm the head guy of Coach Moe Athletics. We've been in business in 3 years now. Okay. So just 3 years. I've been solo with my LLC for 3 years. As of this month. How convenient.
Because you were working on it when we...
Yeah. So how convenient.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Just kind of go back a little history is, played sports growing up, played college football. Got into coaching basketball through the YMCA. My brother needed a coach. I was sitting on the sideline, and it was one of those things where I showed up to the first practice, and there was no coach.
Yeah.
And there was no coach. And so I took over and had no idea what I was doing. Kind of looked at TV and thought I was something, and learned how to do drills on piece of paper, man, too, and ended up getting. So my niche was taking kids that weren't highly scouted or highly super talented on initially by looks, and actually working on their basic skills, getting them ready to play, and making those teams become great teams.
Yeah.
You know, and so a lot of those players went on to play high school, some went on to play college. So trying to find the strength in all those kids. Later, just kind of fast forward. I thought I could do something different, and I wanted to give the kids advantages that they might not get from just playing outside, most other things.
Right.
Much another way. So I went and got a certification and become a speed agility coach.
Yeah.
That's really changed the way I coach kids. The kids can run faster, jump properly, cut different, have body awareness on the court. I see there's a bigger change in defense and a bigger change on how they score the basketball. Okay. So typically when kids come to us, not that we're going to sit around and shoot the ball 200 times and run drills off of a cone and be very basic. We have a lot of different fun. So they're going to be doing lots of footwork stuff. Okay. If footwork's right, it makes it easier to play basketball. Okay. And so I've been doing that for a while. Right now we have 4 basketball teams. Basketball is the thing I love to coach as a team sport. Okay. Unless everybody you should get into football. I'm okay on that. 5 days a week of practice, I'm fine with that. Not at this stage.
Yeah.
But training wise, speed agility wise, we work with basketball players. We work with track. We work with football players. One of my favorite football players is Kendrick Parker. He's down at Midlands, one of the hardest working kids I've ever had to work with. Dad came to me and said, get his footwork right. Kid's a 2-time state champion at North. I can't say that I did all that. The kid worked hard, but I kind of perfected some of the footwork stuff again. And so where should we go? Soccer players, volleyball, anything. That's what we kind of do.
So I was going to ask you that because you say you have a background in football and basketball. So how did it start to transition from basketball to the things like soccer and whatnot?
Well, the funny thing is, I didn't grow up playing soccer whatsoever. And then my son, you guys come here real quick. You guys come here. There's 2 of my athletes. So this is Jordan. Okay, and Jordan. This is Ami. Okay, Jordan has always played soccer, and so that's his first love. And so he ended up hanging out with my son, who always played basketball, and they ended up getting on. They both play select soccer through SOFC, and I started noticing how the body moved with soccer, and it's like, you know what? I wonder, could you translate over into basketball or translate into other sports? And it's been wonderful because the footwork and their side-to-side movement, their lateral movement has been great. And so once I saw that, I was like, you know what, this can work for a lot of different sports.
Yeah.
And I figure if a kid has balance, a kid has good footwork, a kid has speed, they are going to be better off than a kid that does not have these basic things and struggles to get on there. You don't have to be the fastest kid in basketball, but you got to be get into your position and get to your spots.
It's fundamental.
It's very fundamental. Right.
So, and what age groups do you typically work with?
So we work. Here's the good thing: we work from even preschool up to adults.
Okay.
Preschool, because you're still learning a little bit of your balance, those kind of things there. But there's no nobody that says you have to. There's a certain time to learn how to do footwork. You can still run properly. You can still run a straight line. You can do those things there. So we work from preschool up to adults. It's funny because you think the adults can be a lot easier sometimes.
The kids, they probably pick it up so much quicker.
Right.
Man, I know. I tell you what. My family, my girls, we do jujitsu, and like I can see what needs to be done a lot of times, but like my body, like it just is not. It can't do that stuff.
Right.
So like I can tell I'm a better coach to them than I am like of actually doing it myself. Like I can see like, okay, you need to do this, but then like when I try to do it, I'm like, oh man, I can't even put my leg. Like, so I get what you're saying,
right.
man. Like when you're younger, it's easier to pick up stuff. Languages. That's why it's good to start kids with different languages when they're younger, because the mind is growing at that point. When you get to a certain age, and then your brain isn't. I mean, you can still learn stuff, but it's not actually growing. Capacity for knowledge. Or whatever.
Right.
So, man, so I definitely get that, man. So probably some of the parents too probably already have it. It's different when you get older. Like you remember what you used to be able to do when you were younger. So you go into it like with these preconceived notions of what you're going to be able to do. It's probably a letdown once you actually get out there and try.
And I actually can't jump that high.
Yeah.
I could 15 years ago.
Yeah. So I could see that being a big challenge. So like, how did you decide after like helping your brother out that was actually something that you wanted to do and start a business as? Like, what was that?
Good question. I stopped coaching after he got to high school because I was done. I kind of felt like I did my part. Like good. I got married, he played high school, and I'm like I did my part. And then I got first I went to church with Tiffany Lassick. What up, Tiffany? She came to me and she talked about wanting me to train her daughter one-on-one basketball. And so I looked at her and I was like, I don't do that anymore. Those days are over. I was like, I'm done. And she's like, no. And she kind of kept talking about it. She wants to make a team and she's new to it and all this. And so I'm like, all right, I'll try to do it. And so I went and I trained her for a couple times, and she texted me and she's like, I made a team.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of spread around like wildfire, and then I trained people. And I was like, no, wait a minute, I don't train anybody. I'm done coaching. I can't do it. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'll do a camp. I had a camp, and about one or two people showed up to the camp, and it was Ami showed up to camp, and he had a couple friends, and I'm like, this isn't gonna work. That's why I don't coach. And so another camp, we had about 5 kids show up, and I was like, I'm not doing this. This is happening. Well, I noticed those 5 kids were pretty good. Yeah. They were pretty good at basketball. I'm like, weird. And I thought about it, but they're in preschool. We couldn't find a league anywhere to get them in, and I was like, because back then the YMCA didn't have like preschool and all that. You could play up, but they didn't have that, and it wasn't really competitive. I thought these kids could really do it. Yeah. Jordan came to a few of the camps as well. Yeah, there's your shirt, really. There you go. And so they went to this camp as well. Well, I took 5 kids and I went to the Croc Center, and I walked up to
shout out to the Croc Center.
I walked over there to the director, and I said, I got some kids that want to play, and I don't know. There's no leagues for them, And they said, well, all you got is a first grade league with some second grade. Do you think they can compete? I have no idea. And so I remember going to Army and his friend Jake, and I said, go out and just do what we've done in these camps. Learn the basics. So my whole mind is like, if kids know the basics and they can do the basic layups, know exactly what you're doing, make sure they're not traveling. And we worked on that. It seems boring. And kid, I'll tell you, it seems boring. It makes a huge difference. And these kids came out and blew every team out. Every team was older than them and all this. And so when everybody saw that, my camp went from 5 the 10, the 20, the 30, the 40, and it kind of came on. I was like, you know what? I think I need to stay with this team and coach them.
Yeah.
And so it turned into, I had so many kids, I had to break up some teams and coach. Like, I got into it. So you're never fully out of it.
Yeah. Well, man, I'll tell you, my daughter showed interest for the first time. My oldest daughter, she's in 6th grade. And they don't have an actual basketball team at their school, so they just have like an intramural league.
Right.
And they did get to go and play with some other schools and whatnot. 6th grade, and not having any interest in basketball or pre-training or anything like that. Oh man, it was like the most exciting time, like when you would see these girls like running around trying to grab the ball, but it was so like frustrating at the same time too, because they would take the ball and they take like 10 steps and then they just be doing like this, and you'd be like, pass the ball, no, you gotta dribble with it. And it's like, man, like again, with them maybe being a little older and not having any experience or exposure to it earlier on, to those fundamentals, the coach probably could only do so much in one practice a week, and then one game a week. So getting those fundamentals in early on and getting the kids used to it, I can see how they would excel going against a team that has no experience. Because, I guess I've never watched elementary basketball, but watching and boys, I feel like boys more often than not are the ones that you'll typically see younger like that as a whole playing basketball. So there were some girls who had never played basketball at all, and it was really unorganized. Sometimes they'd be playing in jeans and stuff, and I'm like, whoa, man, playing like a real game.
That means you're a real hooper then. I guess you got jeans on.
So I'm like, man, but yeah, you could definitely tell. So, I tried to go with my daughter one time to the gym and like try to just show her like, hey, make sure your shot is always the same. You need to get that same release that you can. It's not gonna happen all the time, but if you can practice on that, like get it. Make sure you're formal. Make sure you're square. Like I've never been like a hooper. I mean, I played ball, like not with the team, but just like with the fellas back in the day. So like we used to always play, but I don't have any like actual like training or like coaching. So there's only so much. There's limited information that I would be able to provide. So like having someone like you, if she did continue to go down that path, would be something that I think that we would look into. Even if she did play on the team, I think I would want some extra outside of like team aspect to get some additional training and coaching for her.
And that's getting really big. It's the time outside of the training. As a coach, and this is what parents understand. And I talk to these boys as well, and the girls' teams as well. It's like we might practice this once or twice a week. We do this kind of things here, but it's what you do outside of the practice. When it's warm outside, are you outside playing on the rim in your driveway? Are you outside playing with your friends? For me, it was a no-brainer in the 80s. Guess what you did?
Yeah, we didn't have all these distractions like tablets and all these games and stuff. So your parents would make you go outside.
It's what you did, And so for us, it's like, what do you do outside of this, And so when I'm coaching and the season's on, as a coach, to be fair, I have to be ready for the game. And so our practices are getting ready for the upcoming game on the weekend, getting ready for the upcoming tournament on the weekend. That's our upcoming thing. So I don't have the time to break down how do you shoot a proper free throw? How do you do that? This is what we got to do in the offseason. So this is where we step in as doing our one-on-one training. I'll tell you about some of the stuff we offer. It's to help with that. It's the days that you're not working with the team. It's how do I get myself better? How am I going to contribute on this team? These boys here, I'm so proud of them and their team. They're used to winning. They came on the line today. They were super challenged. They beat teams by how much? Like 50 points and stuff like that too. And so for them, it felt good. So we get in the USA, we get in a higher league, and we have a kind of newer team, got some new players, and we could beat the first time. It was like 1 point. And it was like, even myself, you'd have thought it was a funeral, we didn't know what to do. It's awkward at the end. And I never had a speech prepared for losing the game, And I'm like, well, this is where it's at, guys. I'm like, we needed this, And we kind of struggled through this, and we were very close to those kind of things there, and we revamped. So we went and got a couple of new kids, and we struggled again in the second half. We weren't as struggled. It was always 1 point losses, free throws, layups, basics. So then I went back to different in our practice. Like, how did I start? And I said, let's go back to the basics. And so then we'd have whole practices dedicated to layups.
Yeah.
Whole back there, you know, they weren't super fun because there's a lot, you know, because they wanted to scrimmage and have fun.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, we'll get back to that every day. And so we came back, and mid-season, they turned around. And so we had 3 games we needed to win to get in. We had the 4th seed, which was the 4th in the winner's bracket. So we're the lowest seed coming in. And I looked at them, I said, it's numbers. And I told them at the beginning of the season, we're going to end up seeing the number 1 team again on both sides. I told them that. And these two believed me, and they got up right there. We're losing games, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And we just kind of kept control, and then meet the number 1 team on the other side. And I said, we're going to beat them because we're going to go to the basics. You're going to make your layups, you're going to play good defense, we're not going to foul, we're going to rebound as high as we can, get the body position, hands out. And we end up winning that one by like 20. You know, and that's the number 1 seed. You're like, whoa. So all of a sudden, teams didn't know how to go, and the next team win the next game by 30. You know, and I was like, this is the old team. And now we're playing better competition, and we're doing the basic. Work the ball, pass the ball, play defense, rebound. So everything changed around. We ended up running through that OSA tournament and the battle in B-Town, and it was the basic stuff coming back to it. So that's what we looked at. So a lot of my kids, we offer what's called one-on-one training. And what's unique with the one-on-one training is I watched one today. I was at a community center. And, you know, I love anybody's working with kids. I get it. Yep. It's my thing to the parents. Okay, know who's coaching your kids. I watched the kid, and we talked about this last week. I had a trainer. He ran the kid to death. It took about 5 minutes. The kid was puking on the floor. The kid was probably in 6th grade. Oh man. And he goes up to the parent and he tells them to do their thing. But that's what usually happens when you do one-on-one trainings with people and you work that hard. And me being a certified trainer, CPR for that, I just kind of broke down. And I was like, oh, you don't say that to a kid. You know what I'm saying to a kid, you know? You don't do that.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not, I mean, you won't want to come back.
No. You can tell this kid was kind of like, this is my first experience, you know, like, wow, you know.
And this was supposed to be on you?
Right, and so what we do is we take a kid and we kind of evaluate them. So you're looking about 2-3 times a week. We take them and we do one-on-ones with these kids. We evaluate them. What team? How long have you been playing? I haven't played for the YMCA 3 years. I'm a point guard. And let's evaluate you. Let's see how many shots you make. Let's see how they're going to go from there. And go from there and see how they do. And we work it, and then we make a plan for them, and we have that kid individually ready to go and contribute to the team that they're on.
Yeah.
You know, I look at a kid and like I can tell right away. It's like maybe you're not the next Kyrie Irving, LeBron, or Steph Curry, or anything like that, but maybe you're the best rebounder on the team. So we're going to enhance your rebounding, and then we're going to work slowly on getting you an offensive game.
Focus on those things that I don't know if you know, but there's this program that I often talk about called Strengths Finder.
Okay.
Traditionally, like when you're going through school or like work or whatever it is, people want to focus on the things that you aren't good at and try to make you better in those areas. But one of the things that Strengths Finders talks about is capitalizing on those things that you already are good at, focusing on those. Those are your strengths.
Yes.
You're naturally good at those things.
Yes.
Like focus on those and make those better. You can still do the other stuff that you're not good at, but you want to make sure you, like you said, if you're rebounding well, and you probably enjoy it because it comes naturally to you.
You be the best rebounder.
Yeah, so focus on that. We can fill in these other gaps, but let's make this our main focus here.
Right.
And I want to go back to what you said about losing that first game. We talk about it at our dojo. Well, the instructors do. You know, that whole making sure you're doing things right from the beginning.
Right.
Because a lot of times, especially if maybe you have like a size advantage against someone else, so you're just pushing them around and bullying them and using your weight. Well, when you get to someone who has better technique, you know, and you still outweigh them, that's not going to matter as much.
Right.
So you need to get those fundamentals down and make sure you're doing that technique properly. So when you do come against someone who has that better technique, you know, you'll be well equipped to engage with those guys on the mats. Because sometimes when you establish those bad habits, you don't know they're bad habits because you're winning.
Right.
So they don't surface until you actually get a loss on there, so you can actually like take a step back and look at the process and say, okay, why did I lose? What happened? Why didn't it go the way that we you know, drew it up to be. So I think that's really a good thing, and it's nice to have that from time to time to just humble you a little bit and bring you back down to earth and say, hey, you know, you can be beat. So that's you know, makes you better too.
And I always tell the kids too, it's like, yeah, we're on a team now, but most of them are going to the same high school, you know. And so like, if I can individually build you up, and you have those things, you have that confidence, you experience these things. Like you're ready when this kid goes to Creighton Prep, this kid goes in Central, this kid goes to North. You'll be ready. You'll remember, like, hey, I might not be with my old teammates, but I do remember I need to shoot a layup with my left hand on the left side of the basket, with the right hand on the right side of the basket. So I need to be doing this. You know, I remember that. So I want those kids to have that. One thing we're special do, we do camps. We're actually starting a camp tomorrow. Woo! You know,
I was going to ask you about camps and how those work. So
so tomorrow we do. It's going to be a very unique camp. Our camps are always very successful. We got a lot of new kids, you know, teams that come through there. And so it's going to be very unique. And so what I look at is we have a camp. It's called a challenge camp.
I'll interrupt you real quick. And Jessica, No Worries Washington says a really good investment for my son. He has already shown improvements. Hey, thank you.
That's it. All right. Good old Kells. Kells is a Battle of Beatdown champ. Kid came in, worked me. He's one of my speed agility. He's my speed agility kid. Plays basketball. So that's where we're at. You know, that's what kind of thing to do. And so we got this camp tomorrow, and Kells will be there as well. It's a challenge camp, and so it's going to be unique because kids need to be game time ready. And I feel a lot of camps. There's a lot of great camps. I'm not knocking anybody out there, but do the camps get your kid ready for game time? These kids had never faced a press, but I taught them in camp how they're going to have a full court press. And so the first time it happened, they started beating the press. You know, March Madness, they're watching it. They started beating the press. And I was like, wow, because we were ready. So tomorrow, we're doing that. How do you do the inbounds play? How do you save a ball that's going out? How do you push the ball 7 seconds down the court and get down and score? So we're going to do that stuff because that's real basketball, you know? So we're working on a lot of basics. We'll start with a lot of dribbling, using our fingertips, using both hands. We're not properly boxing out. But how are we going to tie it into a game? The most frustrating thing I think as a parent, you were talking about earlier, and you said it, is man, that's my kid out there, and they have no idea what they're doing. Like, you love them because you're your kid, you love them because they're out there, but you're kind of like, wow, they don't even know how to dribble to the left or the right, or when it happens, they freeze. And trust me, it doesn't get better if they're in high school or adult. If no one ever talks about how to do it.
Well, I feel like that's the thing too. Nowadays, we talk about it. Everybody getting trophies, and people people being so scared to criticize because people are soft.
Yeah.
Kids are coming up soft. It's not like it was back when we grew up. So I feel like that's a thing that goes into it too. Or like, as a coach, you have those parents who are sitting over on the sidelines who are, trying to tell you what to do and whatnot. And for me, I don't want to tell the coach because I don't know more than the coach knows.
Right.
But I can't help myself sometimes when I'm sitting on the sideline looking, yelling, hey, do this, do that, do that. So I hope I never step on the coach's toes.
Right.
I just am excited, to see my kid out there. It's just a good experience. You want good things for your kids.
Right.
Like you put that into, your enjoyment and excitement of watching them play, I think sometimes too.
And I think that's a good thing. It's like we always encourage the parents, give some feedback. Give some feedback, talk to us.
That's the thing, constructive criticism.
Constructive and do it at the right time.
Right.
Please, after a game, it's 10 seconds after the game, to 1 point loss. Don't run up to the coach and be like, why my kid have more playing time? What is going on here? I don't think that's going to help the situation here, But, give it some time. Call. I've always been a coach, and I have all my coaches, Coach Jen, Coach Tony, Coach Shannon, Coach Kelvin, Coach Jamie, Coach Jordan, Coach, who am I missing? I think I got everybody. Coach Travis, and Coach Tanya. I know. Tony and back. We always talk about that. It's like, you know what? Give it a little time. let the parent talk to you, and we address everything that happens. So what we always ask the parents, work with us.
Yeah.
Work with us. If you see something that we're not doing right, we're not the organization that's going to sit here and go heads up, nose and nose. Oh, we know what we're doing there. We know people make mistakes. But we also know that I have a team full of experts. Coach Joe, sorry, it's Joe. These are 7th grade big man coach. What's up? But we have a coach that will get it, will correct it, and make it right.
Yeah.
Also, what's really unique about us, especially we do it with the camps, we're going to do something different tomorrow. Like, we're going to have the group stuff, but we're going to offer for the first time 30 minutes of just pulling small groups together and working specifically on a need. So I know coaches, like, if you have trouble shooting with your left hand, you have trouble dribbling, we're going to pull you to side those kind of things there. And I think it's a great value because when the game time and the whistle blows, it's a lot different than sitting in your backyard. In the backyard right now, I can score 40 points. 2K18, I'm the man,
Yeah.
But when that whistle blows and there's defense in front of me, I forget to dribble sometimes. I forget to shoot. I forget to pass. And we want kids to be ready for that.
And that too, one thing that I think that I try to tell my daughter as well is like, hey, like, you need to make sure you're on it, because right now you're going to get somebody within our circle, our dojo, our people.
Right.
The first rule is to be nice to you.
Right.
But when you go against somebody else, you're going live in a tournament or something like that.
They're not going back.
They're not trying to be nice. Like,
they're not afraid.
So, that plays into it. So they do have to be prepared.
Right.
If you're not preparing them for that environment, like, you're not really preparing them to succeed. So I think that's really valuable and something that they need to experience.
Right, right. I love doing it. It's just as my coaches, we have a passion. We love doing it. We're just as passionate. And I tell parents, maybe a parent, and my parents probably bite their tongues with it. But guess what? If the kids hit a winning shot, the kid hits his first free throw of the year, I'm just excited. I'm jumping up. I'm high-fiving. I guess, and call me wrong, I love passion in kids. I don't know what happens at home for some of these kids. I don't know what happens at school that day. But when they're on the court, they're in a safe place with me and practicing with our coaches. And if they make an accomplishment, I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
I had a kid, Brady's new to our team, and shout out to Brady. And Dad comes to me and said, he made his first basket. And that was huge to me because this kid never made a basket, but he was very good rebounder. Man, you don't think like this kid's been playing. It's like he just never made his first basket, and that was huge to him.
Yeah.
So I think of the little things. Here's a kid I have on my team who scored 30 points, nothing to him. Here's a kid that scored one, but he's okay with getting 4 rebounds. That's his thing. I'm like, wow, that's big to me. And so that's when you take your mentality. It's like, this is great. This is great. And so that's where we're kind of at. So I love doing it. The one-on-ones I say is used to work directly with that kid with that skill. Maybe you are a dynamic point guard. You're really good at that, but guess what? Obviously, the kid, somebody's better than you.
Yeah.
Somebody's better than you. They're outworking you right now. So while you're sleeping and while you're eating chocolate, what the kids eat now? Snickerdoodles and Girl Scout cookies. Them is on fire. But here somebody's out here outworking you, and I say, you got to be ready to. You can be the best individual player in practice right now. This team is getting ready for you next week. This team sat there and watched you. They're getting ready. So I want the most competitive kids to be leaders and be better and make the rest of their kids on their team better.
Yeah.
I want the kids that are learning to learn and be contributing to that team. We mess together. Now we have a great team. A great team and everything to work with. And we work with kids outside of our team. Our camps are full of kids that come from other organizations, and they take something with them that's like, you know what? You are on the traveling team, but I want you to shoot with your left hand sometime, because guess what? I broke my left hand playing flag football before, and I had to be in a basketball league. I actually used my right hand the rest of the season, there, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. I learned to do. You never know what's going to happen.
Yep, never know. Always prepare for anything to happen. You listen to that Murphy's Law. Anything that can happen will happen. So you got to be well prepared and well rounded, so you can make sure you meet that challenge, whatever it is, that hurdle, head on, as well as possible. So the best way to be prepared is to train hard.
Right.
And I'm finding that as an adult, like after jiu-jitsu, like I've been saying lately the last couple of weeks, I feel like my first year I just threw it away. Right. I was going 1 day a week.
Yep.
That's all I was doing.
Yep.
Well, now I'm going, I've incorporated Muay Thai with the Jiu-Jitsu. So I'm hitting Jiu-Jitsu 2 or 3 times a week. And then I'm doing Muay Thai 1 or 2 times a week. And then now I'm trying to get in the gym too. Get stronger. So it's like, man, I see people out there, like younger people with no kids and, not a lot of responsibility. That like they live in the dojo, they live in the gym. Like that's what they do. They live, they eat, sleep, and breathe whatever it is that they're doing. I can't compete with that. So I got to make sure that I can do the things like, I used to feel like I didn't have time. But I recently found out that it's just, I have to make it a priority. And it was a lack of focus that was keeping me from doing those things. And I'm like, man, why wasn't I doing this all along? Right. So go ahead and do those things early on, so it's not as hard for you to jump from point A to point C. Like, do all those things in between, so you can just go A, B, C, D, E. Like, cover all your steps and do what you can to make yourself better. Because ultimately, for me, like, I enjoy going to the dojo. And sometimes I'm like, or I used to be like, I don't feel like going today, and I would make excuses, and I'd take a day off here or there. Right. And I'm like, dude, when I would go, I never had a time when I went to class and like, oh man, I wish I didn't come to class. Every time I'm smiling so much after class is over. I'm so happy. I'm grateful for the opportunity, number one, for all those people to take their time and like help me be better. But I'm also grateful just for being there, like being able to soak it all in. And it just feels so good. And I'm like, why would I deny myself like this?
It's a lot of self-care. It's self-care and taking care of yourself. Once you, like you said, like I've been back to lifting weights, and I've been, same thing. I was like, I got to train, I got to coach somebody too. And then my wife, who's out of the house, Miss Coach Moe, she said, why don't you go to the gym in the morning? I'm like, I don't want to get up. And so, it's like, you already have to take your son to school. Get up. And I'm like, okay. And I went there, and first I'm like, okay, and then it became routine. I'm like, I'm up now. I might as well do it. Like, I'm good. And you start seeing results. You're like, hey man, my clothes feel a little different. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just getting a little bit better. And I stayed with it. And for me, it helped with my coaching. It's like I'm a hands-on coach. I get out with the kids and I play with them. And I want to run the lines. And I want to shoot with them because here's my deal. I'm not saying that coaches got to be in the top-notch shape. But things happen like, but it's really hard for me as a kid. I remember having coaches and they're like, man, if I put pads on, I'd tackle you. And if I play basketball, I'd score 30 points on you. And they could barely walk because, they're just kind of out of shape. And I'm sitting there like, could you score 30 points on me right now? Like, 'cause I'm in 7th grade, I'm pretty fast, pretty athletic, like, could you tackle me? Because you're like 110 pounds. I don't know if you can really tackle me, And so I know the kids like, I want to run with you. I want to do those things there. And, let's be honest, I want to be around to see these kids go around. I want to be around for my kids to grow up there. And, things can happen. You don't know your last days, but at least I don't want to go because I'm not in shape. I'm not going to go because I didn't try. I ignored the gym. I ignored preparing my meals on. I'm like, you're just getting fast food here and there.
You say that. This was my first week because I'm the Omaha fatty. #Omaha fatty. I'm always eating at places. And I talked to one of my coaches last week, and Coach JP, shout out. I was asking him, I said, man, I'm thinking about getting back into the gym. What exercises do I need to do that will help me on the mats? And he told me. And then last Sunday we talked. He was like, man, like, you don't have to eat out like all the time. And he's like, if you can like eat well like during the week and then have like a couple days off on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And I was like, you know what, man, I did that some years back and it worked out. Like I lost, some decent weight. And I said, I just hadn't been in that right mindset to get doing it now. But now, this was the first week that I started to like make, I'm not all just at once going to change it, but like smaller decisions. Maybe say no to this. Maybe not eat as late at night. Maybe not have French fries every time I eat a meal. So I'm just trying to make small changes that will hopefully just start to grow and help me be better. That's my whole thing. My motivation is being better and just like improving and then being a better me. So whether you're a kid or an adult, man, those same principles apply. So make sure you're doing what you need to do to be successful. successful. Put yourself in the best position that you can to succeed. Because why wouldn't you? Like,
Right.
who doesn't want to succeed? Like, it only makes sense to do whatever is in your best interest to, be at the top of the game and whatever area you're doing, whether it's jiu-jitsu, soccer, basketball, football, whatever it is. Make sure you do those fundamental things to make yourself better and improve. Is there anything else you want to say? Wrap it up here. Saturday, I guess, probably got things to do.
I'm always running, man. Well, one thing I want to do there, like I said, the camp is tomorrow. We have a 3-week camp.
How many camps do you have a year?
Okay, good question. We typically, and they're all different. Typically, we have about 4 basketball camps. We're trying to strategically plan them in between seasons. We also have speed agility camps. So those are fun because those are for any sport. Anybody can jump in there. So also good is the one-on-ones we do. We have basketball one-on-ones, but we also, my favorite is the speed agility one-on-ones. Because it's cool to work with. I never worked with, like, I work with a guy that's going out for a fire department, and we're also fighting for Dan, working with him, shout out to Dan the other day, and I'm like, this is cool, because I'm working with stuff I've never had to work with, but everybody can use some agility work and speed work, and so we have a lot of those different things there, everybody can use it, and so, I also like to say that when you're looking for an organization and you're looking for what you got to make sure it's the right fit. And what we do, we like to make sure we evaluate and we talk and we make sure you know. One thing, our coaches are going to be fair. We'll be honest and upfront with you on your expectations from the kids. And we just want you to work with us, talk to us, communicate, let us know what's going on. We're not going to promise you're going to have the next Michael Jordan, too, but you're going to have the next, Tom Smith, who may be the best, player on his 4th grade team. And that's what we're looking at. It's small goals, each ultimate goal. Maybe that kid wants to make junior high. That's where we're trying to get to that kid, trying to get out with that kid. So that's where we're at. So our camps, definitely, they offer, they're going to be on our Facebook site, so Coach Moe Athletics.com. So
make sure you got that out there for
everybody will like that. Go like that right now. Follow. We're pretty fun. We have a lot of kids.
I tag them.
You see that? Like we need 1,000 likes by the end of the day. We're close. We're close. We need 1,000 followers by the end of the day. So there, www.coachmoeathletics.com. My best friend in the world, Brian Hill, my main ace. My best friend, he does our website work. I sell words. He helps with those kind of things there. Shout out to him. He'll make sure you get your message. We get right back to people. We're up there. Go there. Snapchat, Instagram. I love Instagram. Instagram's cool. Snapchat confuses me because I'm almost 40 years old. He got it down. He's got it down. I look at it, the things too close. I don't know who it's going to. So maybe I recruit you to help me with Snapchat.
I'm like, I meant to say, I made a video yesterday because I got up before work and I went to the gym. And I made this inspirational video, and I forgot to hit the download button.
Right.
So you can't get that back. People can see it, but I can't get it back. I'm like,
right.
Like I was gonna cross share it. Like I was gonna share it on Instagram.
See, I don't know what he's talking about. See, that's how old I am. Like, you guys know what Atari is? I didn't think so.
But yeah, we're on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn.
I am on LinkedIn. I got yelled at to make sure I do that. Like, I got a good wife. She makes me do. She keeps on top of me there. Like, she said you need to figure it out. Pick your clothes up off the floor.
YouTube. We're on YouTube as well. There's videos out there on YouTube. If you want to check and see what the camps are like. What else do you have out there on YouTube?
We have also on YouTube with Army Sports Life. So that's one of my point guards. Jordan, you have Instagram. Jordan's Instagram. So Army Sports Life, you kind of follow him. He's a very hard-working kid. He gets out here and does his thing. Some of my players doing real good. Kendrick's going to come back to us. Nate's been great for us. He's coming back there. Benji has been good. We're starting to you'll get to look at some of those kids on YouTube, what they do. They're kids just like anybody else. The kids that's coming in and don't have, they might not have some of the basics that I'm working on getting them better, and they'll come back. I might guarantee, if you're not getting faster, you're not getting stronger, I'm doing something wrong. And they all do. As long as we're communicating, and we're all do. So I just want people to take that opportunity to come check us out and just talk to us. Talk to us what your needs are. One thing I'll also say is one thing that's coming up that's very exciting. Forgot about this. We'll be having our building will be opening
Oh, yeah.
We have a building. So that's been in the process. And why didn't anybody tell me how hard a process that is? I don't know, but building, we'll reveal location very, very shortly. Location, but we have a building. One thing we're going to start, we're going to have open agility classes. We'll also be able to do one-on-one and small group classes for any age. And we're going to have a thing called move classes. So the move classes are for adults there. So those will be morning time, one at lunch, and we'll have some other work. And so my goal is, I pride myself on being the speed guy. Yeah, you're the speed guy. I'm the agility guy. I am not a personal trainer. I'm not going to bark at you. I'm not going to be your food plan, those kind of things there. I don't want to get in that. Everybody's food plan is different. Yeah. I just tell you, like, if you eat 3 pizzas a week, and you eat a bunch of ice cream, you're probably not gonna lose weight or hit your goals. So don't come in, hey coach, I don't know what's going on with my goals, But the move classes are basically, agility is going to be very different. We're doing agility drills that are going to be repetitive, and you're going to continually move. So everything that's different. We might mix a little bit of boxing. I grew up as a boxer. I also did martial arts, Southern Praying Mantis, Kung Fu. I did Tiger Club Kung Fu. Boxed growing up. I wrestled a little bit. We might be boxing this week. Next thing we might work some cones. Next thing we might work some ladders. But what's going to happen, we'll be able to adjust. You might be the person with a knee injury that needs a little help. We'll give you an alternative to that workout, and we'll go in there. So I love the fact that everybody has these classes here, but you might get a very unique look at what a move class is. Get a little chance to check out Ami's YouTube and kind of look at our YouTube and get you a little bit of beginning in there. It's something I'd love for you to check out. Check out because it's going to help with everything, and it helps myself. Like if I can't do it, I'm not gonna make you do it. Yeah. Now, I might have some people that come in here and they run like marathons. You probably do it longer. I ain't say I couldn't do it. I could do as long as you guys can. I can do it for like 2 minutes.
Well, and that's good too, to get into those different areas. So you different muscles involved, because a lot of times people may not really know, but you should be changing your workout 4 to 6 weeks. Yep. Some people, they only know what they know, and they do the same things over and over and over. And it can be something as small as like me. Like I do pretty much the same exercises, but I try to change. Maybe I'm doing heavy, a couple of weeks, and maybe I'm doing 5 reps, 6 reps. And then, I'll switch it up. Maybe those same exercises, but do lighter weights and maybe do 10 or 12 reps. Just something different to shock your muscles. But if you can incorporate different workouts and exercises all together, you realize that you start using different muscles that you may not have used before, and that's also a benefit. So make sure you're doing that. So I think that sounds like a good idea. So, man, there you have it. Any final words?
Any final words? Like I said, jump on our Facebook site. We really have it on there. Go check us out on social media, Instagram, YouTube. Check us out. Camps tomorrow. And you guys, you can come sign up at the door. My wife, she's not going to hear that because she's got to be the one that's there. She's very, very quiet, but she'll be fine. Come sign up the door. Check us out. If you want to drop in and see what one class is like, hit me up, inbox me. I'll let you know what that fee is. We'll get you in, get your t-shirt, get you working there.
Oh yeah, they got t-shirts. T-shirts. Look, got me a Coach Moe t-shirt. Check it out. Hey, what's up, Phil? How you doing, David? David, thank you for letting us come and be here. Boom.
Boom, boom.
So it's got different colors, different styles. So
you can hit us up for a t-shirt in there. So check us out. Check some of our teams out. It's going to be a great time. Move classes, mark that down. We are trying to take over the city in a positive way. We want to make sure that we're your first stop with professional certified coaches that will get your kid to where they need to be at. Coach Moe Athletics, signing off. I'll see you guys. Peace.
Once again, Small Guy Promotions with What's Up Omaha. Thank you again to David and Joe for allowing us to come to Planet Sub. Once again, please come and check out Planet Sub on 90th and Center. Check it out. I got something to go. I ate a little bit ago, so I'm going to save this and take this home. And I'm going to try out that strawberry cheesecake beer that you got going on while I'm here. So, yeah. Thank you, David.
Go Vipers,
thank you, Joe.
Go Wildcats. Shout out Coach David. Shout out all my coaches. Champions, Vipers, Coach Moe Athletics.
Make sure to help someone laugh, spread love every day. Have a good weekend. Peace out.